of the unknown is the root of our anxiety. Fear of the unknown is the root of our inability to break through to the other side. And what is the other side? The other side is the new beginning you keep looking for but can't quite get. How to get over the threshold. How to decide which way to go when we find ourselves at the crossroads. Should I join the group, the followers of materialism, the followers of the rules and regulations of man, the followers of the ancestral ruts, or should I go the other road, which I have no idea where I'm going? I have no idea who to believe about that road. I have no idea if I'm right or wrong, if I'm found or lost. And so you can see why everyone opts for the dulled down existence of the road well traveled. However, when we have a spiritual awakening, when the goddess Kundalini herself has chosen to lift up her head within our very being, we start looking around. Our ideas about life begin to change. We can't control any of that. Our feelings are different. How we see things is different, and we have no control. And so the terror that we feel of, I need to go this way because that's where my friends and family are going and that's what I know, contrasting, you need to go this way because that's what I am leading you to, she says within you. And this we do not know. This we have not mastered. This involves who knows what sort of tests and tribulations, and yet who knows what sort of rewards and joy can be found on that road. But she pulls us, and she pulls us with our heart. Those tears of love that we feel that have no explanation, in those moments when we're alone or inspired by something, could be a breeze, could be a butterfly, could be the sound of somebody's voice. We don't know when those moments will come of that divine inspiration that just whispers to us, you know there is something more than what you're buying into. And even if you haven't totally bought into it and you're still living a life not completely committed to the materialism, but you haven't quite taken the step to reveal your full potential to yourself spiritually, you're going to think about that. It's going to remind you. You're going to dream about that. And she's never going to go back to sleep, and neither are you. Because this time, you know too much. And when you step in that stream, you have to go to the other side. So the root chakra is a profoundly important chakra because it is about our survival as a person, our survival as an imaginary persona, our contribution, our part, our link in the family ancestry. And we also need a very stable, clear first chakra to move forward. And so you see the very beginning of the commencement of this journey after the awakening involves a lot of clearing up of ancestral karma and a lot of clarifying and a lot of overcoming and facing of fears and things from very long ago, because when the Muladhara chakra is opened and that first chakra is opened, there's a lot of toxins coming out. There's a lot of excretions coming out. There's a lot that's trying to leave you so that you can be lifted and you can be grounded in a whole new way. It's just that staying present with that process at the very commencement of this journey and getting a very solid foundation is very difficult when you don't have the support system, when you have not surrendered and found a sense of belonging amongst other spiritual people, a supportive environment where you can feel seen and understood rather than always having to convince your family or your husband or your friends of the validity of your feelings about your spiritual path or your feelings about this world in general. Your feelings are valid We can't go on forever speculating and watching video after video after video about what might be going on. The reptilians may be feeding on our astral fears. We may be in a simulated reality. I'm open to any of the possibilities because it could all be true. That doesn't change the reality that I'm dealing with, which is my body here and now based on this moment and what I actually can prove that I know. Which isn't much. There's not much that any of us can prove that we know. For sure. So when the speculation ends is when the presence begins. The demonstration of the presence depends on a solid first chakra, the root chakra. Why I have worshipped the goddess Kali for so long, why I bring up the goddess Kali. Because I was told in a dream long ago that I needed to worship Kali before I knew who Kali was, because I have such heavy karma, ancestral karma, past life karma. So my first chakra needed a lot of work. Kali is the goddess of the first chakra. She is the source of the kundalini. She is the source of sound. She is the source of all manifestation. When we live in the grace of Kali, we have protection. Kali also confronts us with our darkness. And so some of us tend to, I think I changed my mind. I don't want to worship her anymore. I've done that. And you know what I found out? She doesn't leave. Like, I want to forget her, but she will not forget me. And then when I come around and realize I don't need to blame her for what I've had to endure, she was just showing me myself. I was afraid of myself. I was afraid of the darkness I carried. I wasn't afraid of her. She was there to show me, to lift me, because she has such mercy on us that she will do the dirty job of making herself the hated one. Because no one likes Kali. They all like the idea, but they don't really, because they're afraid. But what they're afraid of is their own shadow, because she is the merciful mother who lifts our darkness from us and frees us from our fear. But there are some things we have to go through. Like anytime you go into surgery to get rid of something, you have to face the knife of the surgeon. And there's no way to get rid of that thing until it gets cut away. That's what she does. That's what has to happen. But when we live with devotion, in her grace, with her protection, we don't have to suffer the way that we do. But this is a part of the process. We need to stop being so afraid of ourselves, first and foremost. And it's not because we did something wrong, it's because we may be carrying a powerful shadow that isn't completely about us, but is about our parents and our ancestors. Because some of us inherit the ancestral karma. That's part of our promise, that we will work through that. And we'll be blessed with the rewards of what comes with making that sacrifice. And so yes, sometimes we have to sacrifice the lesser for the greater. But when we have love, and when we know that she is within us and we are devoted, and that we trust that love, even if we don't trust ourselves, and we surrender our heads. This is why she holds a head. Your mind is the problem. My mind is the problem. This is why we bow. This is why we do prostrations. Your mind wants to get away from her, but your heart knows she's on your side. So depending on the path we choose, depends on what we will face and how our life will commence from the moment of our awakening. Because when we try to backtrack, we get things thrown back on us harder. When we pick the path of devotion, even if times are rough, even then, we look and we see how much more bright and clear we have become, even in the midst of the difficulty, because we shine brighter when things are rubbing up against us, and we let them rub up against us and we don't hit back. So when we have devotion, we realize that stay focused on the flame of light within. Don't take things personally. Let life purify you. Let life turn you into the diamond. Let life make you smooth. Sacrifice the lesser for the greater love of the Divine Mother, who is the gift giver. the only gift giver, the bestower of blessings, the reliever of difficulties, the remover of obstacles, and the answer to your pain. When we take the easy road, do you want to wait till you're on your deathbed to find out that road wasn't so easy? Do you think you're going to skate through in some meaningless life, buying things, selling things, eating things, having sex with things, making babies? All of it's fine. But unless you have the spiritual foundation and your focus is on the right thing for your soul, for your entire being, you die with nothing. What you have on the outside is gone. What you are on the inside. You can't keep your body. You can't keep your beautiful body. You can't keep your money. You can't keep your friends. God is your friend. You are within. Who are you? And how much do you depend on of this world to make you safe? Because when you depend on this world to make you feel good and safe and valid, we're in for a really rude awakening, and it's painful. But sometimes we suffer because that's what makes us go to God. And when we're confused, it's because we're not clear, because we're trying to stay in the middle of those two roads. But when we keep choosing the road less traveled, the road chosen by the saints, the road chosen by the holy beings, however difficult that road is, we are going the right way. And so whatever difficulties we encounter on that road only add to us. We will be at peace. When we leave this world, we will go to the stars that we are from, to the Pure Land, to the light. Or we will wander around scared in the bardo, looking to be born again, forgetting everything and suffering the same karma, maybe even worse this time around. I don't know if it's a simulated reality. I don't know if the reptilians are feeding off of our astral fears. I know that when we live in fear, it's probably not a good idea. And if this reality is simulated, we should try to win the game. We are not animals. We are part animal. We are also part divine. The war we are facing is that to constantly seek the gratification of the senses and to ignore the higher calling leaves us with an empty feeling. However much pleasure we can buy for ourselves or get for ourselves will always, always, always leave us with an empty feeling. We will never get enough, not in this world. But when we purify and become grounded in our devotion to God, in the root chakra, and let the past go and start making some major changes in our life about what we're eating, what we're doing, what we're watching, what we're seeing. And it doesn't have to be something drastic and extreme. It needs to be a shift in our lifestyle. Slowly but surely moving in the right direction, praying every day, going within every day, little by little. You look back and you're just a new person every week, every month. And you keep investing in the right thing, because this is about an investment. Invest in you, invest in your soul. I invite you to the retreat because it's a reset. It's an investment in your soul. It's a way for you to really go there and feel it and know, so that you can get the power behind you, the inspiration, which is what I'm only here for, to inspire, to lift yourself up, because there's so much suffering in this world. And I know how hard it is. So we purify the first chakra. Kundalini energy can rise. The first chakra is connected to the crown. When we are balanced, and the brain becomes balanced, and we have equanimity and poise and the ability to choose rather than react what we will say or do. The remembering the awareness of our breath, the awareness of this moment, that we have the space to be aware of this moment without the internal clutter, without the confusion, without the chaos, without that little thing knocking on us to keep running. Let's go do this now. Let's go do this now. Turn that off. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Like, how many people are even still watching this video? Because people get triggered. And that's what I'm talking about. triggers. The triggers that keep us going the wrong way. The triggers that keep us back to the beginning, back to where you started from, back to where you started from. And you came this far, now you're back to the start. Do it again. Are you sure you want to go that way this time? And that's how it goes. And of course we all backtrack, because that's how growth happens. And of course we all bargain and go into denial and have disillusionment and confusion. It's about staying present with whatever we're experiencing. That means progress. Because the so-called backtracking isn't backtracking when we stay present with those feelings. We can't push ourselves into some direction we're not able to get to and maintain yet, but we will get there when we keep staying present, when we find ourselves repeating things. And at that point, we may be able to act differently upon those impulses. That is where mindfulness and paying attention to the moment comes in, and that is where things like yoga and pranayama and meditation help. The most important thing is cultivating an attitude of appreciation and devotion to the divine. Devotion. Devotion is the solution to any problem. And gratitude, because devotion allows us to trust and surrender. Because what is going on is that, especially with the root chakra, is, and understandably so, because we want to survive. It was put into us. It's not our fault. It was put there. We need to survive. This person, me, that has been built on all sorts of conditioning, needs to survive. And things have happened to this person that makes me do certain things to survive that may not be in my best interest, but I can't stop. That's the reptilian mind. That's the first chakra, where it's just going crazy on itself. However, when we can find the devotion and surrender to the moment, we open ourselves to cosmic consciousness. We allow our heart to open. Because when we clench up and when we hold on and we fear that annihilation of our disordered personality issues based on the past, based on compulsive responses, based on a dysfunctional first chakra, vata derangement can be caused by the first chakra, all of that. When we are holding on and we're so uptight and so clenching and so lashing out and so over defensive and so overcompensating, it gets to a point where we have to be aware of what we're doing to ourselves. And we can't sleep, and we're just all physically disturbed. There's no harmonious flow. The thing is, we are made mostly of water. All those thoughts we're having, all those feelings we're having are magnified by the cells in our body. So when we tune to the divine and we're thinking thoughts of love, and we're thinking mantras, and we're feeling trust, we are healing our body magically. We have to let the divine do its job on us. We have to trust somebody. We have to trust somebody. We have to trust ourselves. We need to feel a sense of belonging. We need to feel that there is some place in this world that is a refuge for our soul. Whether it be in your own environment, in your own spiritual family, with a spiritual teacher, in the presence of God, whatever that is, that sense of belonging and commitment will allow that dropping away of the old skin so the skin can be shed. This is the snake that sheds its skin. And this new, bright, and beautiful you can emerge. And the fear of the unknown was nothing to be afraid of. Because this is all about renewal. This is all about being born again. This is all about how magnificent you can possibly be. But everyone's just too afraid to find out because they feel they have too much to lose or there's no guarantee. But those people, what guarantee do they have what they're investing their time in? Like, we don't know if there's a guarantee on this direction. Like, we can't prove it, but we can really prove there's no guarantee in that direction. We can really prove that road of materialism goes nowhere. So if you tune in and you become sensitive enough and you listen to your heart, and you yourself pray to Kali, if that suits you. Please help me. Pray, please help me. Please show me the way. Please give me the strength and the trust and the humility. To become one with you. To be a vessel for you. To be filled with you, the mother light of all creation. Once you've had an awakening, the only way is through. What's holding you back? No point in wasting time. Let her love guide you. Face the fear. Face the fear. And see that it was just an illusion. You are protected by the grace of the Divine Mother.